Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Cafecito con NHCOA. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that holds great importance for our health: good nutrition in the Latino culture. The traditional dishes we enjoy and pass down through generations are a big part of who we are. But as we try to focus on healthier lifestyles, it is important to find ways to enjoy these meals while maintaining a balanced and nutritious diet. During this conversation, we will discuss how our traditional eating habits impact our health, how we can make healthier choices without losing the essence of our cultural dishes, and how we can teach younger generations about the importance of good nutrition while honoring our roots. So, we are excited to have Dr. Gabriela Armendaris with us today to help us guide this conversation. Dr. Armendaris is a bilingual physician who also holds a master's degree in public health with a focus on nutrition among Hispanic and Latino populations. And we are looking forward to hearing her advice on this topic. So thank you for being with us today, and let's get this started.
Well, let's start by saying that Latino traditional diets already include foods that are high in nutrients, such as, for example, beans, corns, veggies, and lean proteins. These foods already give us vitamins, fiber, and protein that our body needs. But because sometimes they are fried, like Latinos, how we like cooking, or made with more processed foods, some traditional meals may also be high in sodium, refined carbs, and saturated fats. So to keep the health benefits of the traditional diet, while lowering the risk of obesity, high blood pressure, and other diseases linked to diet, it is important to find a balance. And this means that we can use healthier cooking methods, and watching how much we eat can help also to keep our traditional roots in food related, and we can also improve our health in the long run. We can eat our Latino dishes and stay on a healthy diet by changing the way they are cooked and the ingredients that they are used without giving up on flavor. For example, some ways to lower the amount of fat in the food are to cook with healthier oils, grill or bake instead of fry, and eat more veggies. For example, I can think about chilaquiles in the case of Mexicans. So normally how we make chilaquiles is we fry a tortilla or the totopos, and then with these fried totopos, we serve the chilaquiles, right? So, but instead of doing that, instead of frying a tortilla, we can bake a tortilla, and then from there have these baked totopos and serve the chilaquiles. So we can also balance the meals with fiber-rich foods like beans, whole grains, and fresh fruits, and adding more vegetables to counteract the effect of high fat and high sugar foods. So I know it seems a lot, but these are the small changes that we can make for us to still enjoy traditional foods while also improving our health and lowering our risk of getting a chronic disease. Promoting healthy changes that honor traditional tastes and habits is part of teaching people about good nutrition while still respecting cultural food practices. And this can be done through nutrition education programs that are sensitive to different cultures. For example, we have to be aware that among Latinos, we have different types of Latinos, right? Mexicans are different from Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans are different from Cubans. And even though we have some things or some foods in common, still we are different cultures. So I think having that in mind is super important when addressing or when designing programs that target our communities. So working together with community leaders and local chefs is also important so we can start creating more recipes that are true to the culture while also being healthier, and we can get more people involved on this. I think it's super important to also have a balanced approach that values both tradition and health. And this can be started by having conversations about the cultural meaning of food and bringing attention to its role in the general health of Latinos. You know, traditional Latino foods can absolutely, and let's keep that in mind, they can be part of a healthy, balanced diet, and with a few modifications, they can align even more closely with current nutritional recommendations. Many of these dishes are already nutrient dense and provide important mineral, vitamins, and fiber. So by incorporating more vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, and making healthier cooking choices, we can preserve the cultural richness while promoting better health outcomes. And I can give you more, like some examples. For example, we can make some changes. Let's grill instead of frying. For example, for dishes like empanadas or tostones, you can bake or air fry them instead of deep frying them. We can use whole grains. We can substitute the white rice in dishes like gallo pinto or arroz con pollo with brown rice or quinoa, like some pronounce. We can replace refined flour with whole grain or corn masa for tortillas, empanadas, or pupusas. And this will increase the fiber content of these dishes. Adding more vegetables, that is so important in Latino culture. For example, for tacos, pupusas, or empanadas, we can always add a variety of colorful vegetables like peppers, spinach, onions, or even squash. I also recommend to use veggie toppings like shredded lettuce, tomatoes, avocado, and fresh salsa in ceviche or tostones. Leaner proteins, I always recommend to use lean cuts of meat or opt for chicken or turkey, or even fish, instead of fattier cuts of beef or pork in dishes like ropa vieja or churrasco. For healthier fats, for example, we can replace traditional fats like lard or butter with avocado oil, olive oil, or coconut oil in cooking. And avocados are often a very, very good source of good fat, so we have that. And to reduce salt and sugar, we can focus on using fresh herbs and spices like cilantro, oregano, garlic, and lime to flavor foods rather than relying heavily on salt. And for desserts, I know like in Latino culture, we love the flan or the tres leches cake. You can reduce added sugars and experiment with natural sweeteners like honey or agave. To increase the fiber, we can add beans and whole grains to dishes like arroz con pollo or feijoada from Brazil. I recommend to also try to make some meals vegetarian or plant-based by focusing on beans, lentils, and vegetables in dishes like for gallo pinto or empanadas. And for example, for tacos, we have some lentil tacos. We can even create like veggie tacos with mushrooms. So there's all different ways that we can improve or change some of our dishes and make them healthier for us without having to compromise much of the flavor. So I think we need to focus on education and family involvement. These are key to teach younger generations healthy eating habits while also preserving the cultural significance of traditional foods. Parents and other people can teach children the value of traditional ingredients and recipes while also showing them healthier cooking techniques. Like, for example, I mentioned before, using less oil or choosing whole grains. So getting also what it helps a lot is getting kids involved in meal preparation, because this builds a connection to their cultural heritage and helps them to understand how important nutrition is. Also, again, we need to encourage balance, enjoying traditional dishes in moderation and pairing them with nutrient-rich foods. This is so important. For example, we all love tamales, or as in Puerto Rico are known like pasteles. We love them, right? They are very dense and high in calories and very rich. However, I'm not saying like don't eat them at all, but once in a while you can eat them. Just we have to balance and we have to moderate the consumption of those foods that, although we will want to change the how we cook them, maybe it might be a little bit more complicated. It doesn't mean that we don't have to eat them again. It's just we have to keep the balance and eat them every so often. And by if we as adults learn that, we can make sure that younger generations value their cultural food identity while adopting eating habits that are good for their health in the long term. Yeah, I just want to remind to my community out there that we don't have to give up on our traditional foods. Instead of that, I think we need to embrace them even more. We just have to adapt to what is best for our health and grow from there, right? But never give up on those tacos, on that ropa vieja. Just embrace it and make those changes. And I guarantee that you will learn, and it will help you in the long run to be a healthier you.
Thank you all for joining us today for this important discussion. We hope the conversation has given you useful insights into how we can preserve our cultural traditions while making healthier choices for ourselves and our families. A big thank you to Dr. Gabriela Armendaris for her guidance and expertise. As we move forward, let's keep sharing these important lessons with our community and encourage healthier habits for future generations. Don't forget to stay connected with us through our digital platforms and social media at NHCOA for more resources, updates, and future events. Until the next Cafecito con Agua.